that. We're all here, but before I proceed, I'm going to make sure we're appearing actually in the stream and we're not crashing.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
good thinking.
Crashing 2 minutes into it.
I'll do the same.
and I'll read out the following. You are listening to Let's Go! That's the limit of my breath, actually. I can't get as loud because I've got this cough. You are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. This is going to be a low, whispery episode from Brian. Come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Dwayne.
Hey, how's it going?
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering anime that aired the week of the 8th to the 14th of May, 2022. With the exception of episode 6 of Tiger and Bunny Season 2, Youth Should Be Regarded with Respect. Take it away, guys.
I think there might be a market for like this kind of like ASMR podcastery. I don't know.
Anyways, this is Tiger and Bunny Series 2, Episode 6. I think this is have we gone through all of the buddy pairings now? We've dealt with their personal problems and we're free to go ahead.
I think we're good. Yeah, with this episode, I think we've done. Have we done all the pairings?
Yeah, that's all of them.
I'm pretty sure we've done them all. Yeah.
Then the two villains and their dad.
Well, I guess we haven't resolved anything with Mr. Black. Sorry, Mr. Black. I was going to say Mr. Black and Mr. White. Mr. Black, and he is Ronald. Thomas.
He is Thomas.
I still can't remember his name.
Thomas.
Yeah. So I guess they still have their stuff to happen, but other than that, yeah, we've resolved with this episode, we've mostly resolved all the buddy drama. Yeah.
Yeah. The villains and their dad are going to agree. Well, we've destroyed everywhere else in the world. Let's go to Sternville City next. Oh, all right, pops. But they have exactly 12 heroes left to hit this arbitrary number of 36 you set for ourselves of killing heroes. All right, class. But this is one of the case. Dragon Kid and Carnavran, the cat girl one. This is their thing because Dragon Kid's really take like the rookie under her wing, just show them the ropes, making sure you're well vitalized, like, exercise and train, nutritious. But now, so Kat or Lara or Kara. Anyways, she's got one of those. If you thought like Mr. Black and he is Thomas had her stage mom manager, this is like very much a stage mom manager. She's the former tennis ace who was part of a famous like tennis doubles pair, and this friend
she was betrayed.
Stabbed right in the back, and she said she was so fucking nice. She was all smiles and sunshine up to you for what she'll do or she'll take any opportunity to get. You can't trust anybody in this game. This is just the hard truth of a kid, and we're trying to prepare you for the worst. I thought, oh, okay, ma'am. I'll do what you say.
It's kind of got the whole the sociopathic parent who's they want their child to achieve the thing that they fail to do, that kind of thing. And in this case, obviously not tennis in her case, but it's like you need to be the best hero. You can't trust your partner and hero.
Yeah, so, she's your partner. She's your rival. She's your enemy. Yes. She's the enemy. She's trying to steal the spotlight from her. That thing the other day where we could stay behind and evacuate the civilians while she made the arrest. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
that's your glory.
The other one in comparison, I'd say, is probably not Stage Mom. She comes across more like the Arcala of a cub pack. It's like trying to organize young boys to do things. Yeah.
Unruly children. Yeah. She definitely has more teacher or guardian on a school trip vibes. Yeah. Whereas this is just like no toxic mother, for sure. It's pretty ugly because obviously you kind of see it from the outside because your outside point of view characters are as usual Fire Emblem and Blue Rose who are just like, she got a little psychic. Now she's not the youngest one in the group, so she's kind of like she's basically doting on her younger partner. But it's the idea that she's just being a little too not controlling.
Yeah,
I mean, it is a kind of control.
She's got two mums now, and neither of them are really doing the right job.
Like Dragon Kid's putting her on the front lines. She's getting all the flashy arrests. Well, I mean, like it makes sense. It's like, hey, girl who can squirt water, you stay behind and put out the fire while I catch the criminal. Like it's just like, yeah, that makes sense because the building's on fire. That's not like overstepping your bounds, but probably you should ask her. It's like, hey, she's your partner. She's in on this as well. You shouldn't go off on your own or go on the front lines yourself. That kind of thing.
Yeah. But but putting out a fire was one thing. But when a mugger puts a pistol on you and it's ready to go, would you be ready to go with a torrent of water to take him out, or are you gonna flub it like you always do and fall off a building?
Yeah, and it obviously that contrast earlier when she's training with Mr. Black, because when he gets angry, he can't focus his force field, so he's looking up news articles where his partner's really being a shit, to get mad.
Oh, I hate
And
that guy.
and she's randomly going to squirt water at him. And she's like, no, I don't get that. I don't get like that kind of thing. My power always works at 100%. And it's just like, not if you're nervous.
No, I won't.
Her kryptonite is being, I guess, nervous, or what this Dragon Kid pointed out as anxiety, or something like that. I think it is.
Well, just when you get scared when someone pulls a gun on
Yeah.
you, for example, or the arsonist going around, Bruno Blaze, who's been just a massive horde, 2 flamethrowers. No, like, special powers. It's like, bit more like the Batman type villain, just rides on their gadgets and their know-how.
Yeah, I was initially thinking, oh, is he going to be like Pyro from X-Men? And it's like, no, he's just a guy with a flamethrower.
He's just Firefly from Batman. Is a guy who likes setting things on fire with a flamethrower.
Very much so. Because even him watching the fire and him kind of framing it with his hands, it's like, oh, that's a fucking nice fire there. And it's like, who's that one putting out my fire? Ooh, I swear vengeance. That kind of thing, yeah.
But heart to heart in the middle of all this, it's just like, I'm sorry, I was calling you, I was trying to look out for you, but maybe I was like, just kind of shielding you a little bit from who you could be to who you can be. And you can't do that. I know you can't, kid. So, Barnaby and Tiger, you showed up to help us, but could you just stand in the way of the fire while she gets her confidence back and can dispose of this villain?
Yeah, I mean, like Dragon Kid kind of learns from both experiencing your one's mother firsthand and her shittiness, and everyone outside that room was like, "Oh, should we be listening to this?" Very awkward. But like, it's like, oh, I'm being taught in like a different direction than the mother, and also seeing how Tiger trusts his younger senpai to do the job. He's like, well, buddy, you just go find him and beat him up, because I don't want to say it, my powers are worse than yours. Okay. I'm an old man. But she kind of sees this and leads by example, or Tiger kind of leads by example for Dragon Kid, and they work it out in the end. She knocks that villain right into a perfect mural of an eyeball. I was just like, oh, that's really nice. I like the framing on that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Big Great Gatsby fans on the background art team this week.
I do appreciate that the mother has not changed at all, has learned no lessons whatsoever, and you do kind of see that it's a nice bit of, it's a little subtle, but the newscaster is actually her ex-partner, so she's went on to do things beside tennis and be famous in a different regard, like in being a news presenter, whereas the mother's just sitting at home with her like giant A1 sized picture of receiving the trophy with her partner, but that's like torn off. Like, why did you print that site? We can just Photoshop that out, right?
No, it's like the portrait of Washington. Was torn off at the bottom. It's got a bit of a mystery to it. The story is when people walk into the room and want it to be a conversation piece, but don't want to talk about it actually.
Why have you framed the
don't you forget that?
Away? Yeah,
it happened to you. Like, and you can tell like Kat is more like, okay, man.
Okay, you're a bit crazy, but you're still my man, and I have to listen to you, I guess.
Yeah. Evidence. Get evidence. Getting on is fine. 90% ever in front, but the villains turn up probably next time.
Because they need, like we said, exactly 12 more heroes to hit their arbitrary number. And they can't even seem to count. It's like, we've killed 4 more heroes. How many does that make it now? Yeah. Dad, would you tell us?
And what does it have anything to do with Barnaby Brooks' pal, Jimmy Olsen's job working on a spectacular new pharmaceutical drug? Like, I can be a hero like you, and you're a hero and us. It's like, as I can say, I'm just as good as you are. And Barnaby's like, yeah, I can see what you mean. No, I can't be better than you.
Yes, and Barnaby's slowly learning that this kid was not the great friend of his childhood that he thought he was, as we see a scene where he just used to burst chewing gum bubbles in Barnaby's face and then laugh.
And also his lack of socialization, where he's like, so that's why that happened. Because yeah, even your man saying it's like, oh man, the face you used to make when you were trying to get it out of your hair. It's like if you ever had to get chewing gum out of hair, you know that's not a good fucking time.
No, just get the scissors
Yeah.
out.
To be chewed out.
Yeah. So Jimmy Olsen, what are you up to? What's he gonna do? Turn himself into a giant turtle man?
I hope he turns it. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Yes, giant turtle one. That would be nice.
And
So,
then
yeah,
on to the show where we're most likely to see a giant turtle man, Birdie Wing, Golf Girl Story, episode 6, Rebellion's Cry, in which Rose is pulling all the strings, it appears. Plots within plots within plots.
Mm-hmm.
But is it like to our girl's benefit?
I think so.
Or is it
because
it seems to be like I'm pretending to be a
Yes.
bastard, but it's just like I feel like you're not actually.
Yeah,
a
she's
bastard.
not. Yeah, I think she's pretending because of her telling Clyde and the other girls to wait until the very last minute before their house is destroyed for Eve to show up.
Yeah.
And the other thing of she could have got Eve on board, but she was kind of like to Eve was like, you should join the mafia. Come on, sell your body and soul. And it was just like, no, I'm never going to do that. And it's like, excellent, everything's working to my plan. It's like, that was a bad sell.
Everything I think is trying to push her to become a better golfer. And I assume then we're going to get some sort of tragic backstory of Rose, why she could never be the professional golfer, and now she's going to let Eve live her dream. We also get
you can the opposite of toxic parenting, pretending to be toxic in order to let your pseudo kid live the dream that you never could. That kind of, I was too close to the mafia, I couldn't get out, man.
Sorry, you fell into this life, kid.
Yeah. So Eve has found an amnesiac, we learned in this episode, and then a mysterious scarred mecha pilot shows up and
golf trainer
trained her for 3 years before disappearing again.
Fucking hell, brilliant.
Think about golf, but it's like shooting people with guns.
And
is this a thing?
I always remember that.
Yeah. Also, we get more Viper.
Viper, just like she cracks the case. She puts it all together.
It's like, hey, wait, why didn't they kill me? I gotta go investigate some shit.
The best bit of the episode is how quickly that guy gives up to Viper.
Oh, that was amazing. It shows that it's like, wait a minute, how is Viper actually good at what she does? It's like, now it makes sense. Okay.
I do that thing. You're like, I'm in. I'll betray the boss, no problem. Oh, I think she's actually really a delight, you know. It's good Eve hasn't told. Did you get on okay after that last bit? You know, because I know you lost a bit for your boss. Had a bit of trouble. I just cut to her, like, you know, escaping out the window in her bathroom while the mafia goons kick in the door and spray with bullets. And
like her basically Lupin the Thirding away from a bad situation.
It's clear she's a Fujiko Lupin hybrid because she's driving in one of Lupin's cars for a start.
But she's great. She's like, I am the snake, but he's like, you know, kind of the big guys and tossing out. You know, you look at like a silly cartoon snake. You're not very threatening at all, actually. It's all just smoke and mirrors with you.
She's a pet snake.
She's got a heart of gold.
But Eve she's discovered the perils of underground mafia golfing, because no matter who won, she lost, because they're gonna tear down the barfanage, which is the bar orphanage. That's what I'm gonna call it, and put a casino there. But she helped do this. My God, I need to earn as much underground golfing money as I can in order to buy back the barfanage. But she works it out with Viper of how she could possibly do that, because it's like, hey, have you got any good jobs? It's like, if I had any good jobs, I'd be doing them. What are you talking about?
No, man. My only thing that might like sink this whole casino deal is if there was a mafia war between the two groups. And sure enough, just the next day, like the counselor who would have in their pocket to approve all of this gets assassinated by an RPG on the motorway.
That was the least subtle assassination I've ever fucking seen. It was amazing. Is anyone going to investigate the rocket launcher on the fucking freeway the other day? It's like, it's probably fine.
It was very like, no, like while he was there, like, you know, it was really like way to go out. It was very artistically shot because you get the point of view from the secretary who's going over his itinerary for a day, and then it's like she just adjusts her glasses, and then you see right to the frame, lens glass, a bit of frame in there. Huh. That man's in the limbo ahead. He's aiming an RPG. I think, oh god.
Yeah, and obviously it's the other mafia boss who has sniped her main guy in the council, and the rights have been sold to him, but they could settle this over a game of underground golf. Winner takes all. Obviously, yeah.
Let's leave the RPGs off, but listen how we do things in this town. We do it on the green. You get the real sense that the lady mafia boss, the one who's like who Rose also
Rose's boss.
Yeah. She looks like she certainly looks the part. She has a cigarette holder. He has like the kind of the scar on her shoulder right there because she she didn't get this by just fucking her way to the top. She's a bit of a fucking like a dumbass. She's spending all her time swanning around getting massages and sleeping in late with her man. It's just like she's just completely lost her reins and mafia operations.
Yeah.
And her man walks in all smug because he's got her over her barrel, and she's just like she's barely concealing the frustration. And now, now who's going to be your golfer? Fuck's sake, that's my illegal underage professional golfer assassin you've hired to play for you. That's unfair.
So yeah, it's going to be Eve playing for the opposite team this time with Vipera as her caddy. But who is their opponent? No, than Madame Rose. Oh my goodness.
Your other mother.
Yeah, who seems to be again, she's the villain of this bit, but she's set herself up to be the villain of this bit. It's really suspect. It's
because she's like, oh, I don't think you'll ever see me again, Klein, but do hang around for Eve to come back. So yes, but I assume just gonna push her as far as she needs to go. Also, the other girl briefly is interviewed and turns the subject immediately to Eve. And also Lily makes the ultimate sacrifice. She considers selling some of her Gundam models to the same middle-aged guy who they've been fleecing for cash in the...
Yeah. I did. There must be that I discontinued or something like that because they're only high-grade ones.
I think the idea is she's paying import prices because they're not in Japan, so they're worth more in foreign lands, basically, that kind of thing. That's the only thing I could think. Yeah,
the kind of contraband. It isn't related to golf somehow. It's subject to a flat 15% tax.
It's the Tokyo Toys markup. That's what gets you.
Yeah. I like the bit with her. Those two's background. It's like it doesn't say it, but it's like those two were probably working as prostitutes, right? And,
oh god, yeah. Going by this phone, Klein's where he looked like fucking 17 or 18 or something like that.
Yeah, it was just something.
I thought you seem very much like the older sister or mother figure here. You're like only a couple of years older than Eve.
Yeah, everyone here is crazy fucking young. So I assume all those children are like babies or something. I don't fucking know at this stage. But yeah, the reason they could get away and live. I thought they were just because it seemed to be implying that they were staying in the bar illegally. But it's more so that the kids don't have papers is the problem, and they'll obviously be put in not even put in an orphanage, deported probably.
And they were being supported by the mysterious golf trader during those 3 years while he was training Eve.
But once he disappeared, Eve had to earn illegal underground golf money in order to keep the bar financially afloat.
And you get the impression also from there, with not just Eve's reminiscence to his writer as well, that they're going let's try not to go back to him. He was not a very nice man.
Yeah, the hellish training she underwent. Actually, she does get a training montage with Vipera as well, which is fantastic because Vipera's just sitting down to fucking fine dining every night. Basically, she lives fancy. You got to appreciate that.
That's. I realised this. I think it was this week. I realised. Oh yeah, it's not so much that it's a ramped up golf anime. It's a toned down version of Valkyrie Drive Mermaid. It's golf as opposed to fingering, which is essentially what stands for golf in Valkyrie Drive Mermaid.
I mean, it does have a rocket launcher assassination in a golf anime, so it's still
I remember there's a character who looks a bit like Vipera, but unlike Vipera, she turns into a motorcycle when she's horny.
Yeah, it's like we've seen it in fiction before. There's often like organized crime associations with stuff like things like professional
Sporting events.
boxing
Yeah.
Yeah.
or something like that, or they're fixing horse racing. This like conceivably golf.
Yes, well, pro golf for
But-
Saru is exactly where it's pulled that from. The betting and the evil organization dedicated to golf is straight out of Pro Golf for Saru, and that's like within the first episode that a mysterious masked man shows up and introduces the guy he wants to play against Saru, which is a giant baseball player who tees up with a giant tee. He puts the golf ball on top of the giant tee and then uses a baseball bat to golf with. So really, Birdie Wing quite subdued in comparison.
Oh, weird.
I mean, like it does have like an underground actual golf randomizer.
Yes,
So
that-
that's pretty
yes.
crazy and out
But
there.
and
stuff,
we've
yeah.
had Viper, but I'm looking at the other people we're facing. I unfortunately don't think any are going to be robots, which was what I was hoping for. I was hoping.
None are going to be robots. We've already covered someone who uses pheromones to distract you. You
Yeah.
know, we
I
got to
was
have some
hoping-
mad shit in there.
Oh,
yeah.
there'll
I
be
was
some
hoping
good
like Tiger Mask Double,
trick clubs,
essentially,
man.
was what I was hoping for.
They'd have to go to Golfing World to golf or die.
Yeah,
or something
but it's
like
still
that.
very,
yeah.
very good because it is heightened from most sports anime. But because I'd
Yes.
looked up
Yeah.
Pro Golf for Saru, I think around the start of the pandemic, I instantly recognised where it was taking its cue from.
If you're going to steal
Yeah,
from
unfortunately that's
something
not
good.
available in
But
English,
yeah.
but you can watch random episodes on the official Pro Golf for Saru YouTube site. I don't know
Oh.
why it's not a full set of episodes, but it's just ones here and there throughout the series. I assume just like a little taster to get you to go and buy the Blu-ray sets.
Yeah, maybe it's like just a sampling so
Yeah.
they can convince someone to pick it up for distribution or something like that. Yeah.
Then we've got your boy Kobe, episode 7, Plan for Peace Throughout the World, volume 1. I thought this was going to be like part 1 of a story, but no, that is the full title of
No,
the
no.
thing, which is revealed during the episode. I was like, okay.
Now that's the
Nonetheless-
name of his PowerPoint
Yes.
presentation that he presents to everyone. More PowerPoint presentations than anime. I'm here for it, man.
Yeah.
It's somehow
So what
always
have we
very
got? We've got
fun.
this. We've got Tensai Bakabon. We've got the
Mhm.
spin-off from Kaiji.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Tanagawa. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean like that's a business thing. You're gonna have lots
I'm
of
trying to remember what
PowerPoints.
else
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
seen with PowerPoint presentations.
There was like a PowerPoint
I
last
feel
week.
you're right,
I think,
yeah.
and I can't
But
remember what the fuck it
PowerPoints
was.
and about the presentation thereof of PowerPoints. The
Yeah,
right
I
way
think
and
it
the
might have
wrong
been
way
your
to
boy
do it.
Kobe again last week. I think he's gonna
It
go
might have been. Yeah.
PowerPoints
Okay.
quite regularly.
It's
It's
fine,
basically
more-
like pointing at a battle map. So yeah, it works out.
yeah, it's the most efficient way to relay information that he
Mm-hmm.
has deduced from his rigorous study.
But it's not just like a PowerPoint like presentation. He does have like a little fanciness set up. He has music playing. He has a little thing that sets off like a bunch of confetti when the name is revealed. It's like he knows
Yeah,
how to
it
play the
feels-
crowd of
yeah.
3 people that he's talking to.
It's like he's invited the entire business to this important meeting, and this business,
all
three
three
of
of
them.
them.
Dear.
Oh yeah, well, obviously gotta get them likes, gotta get some socials. And here your rivals here. We have like this club group here, the club duo that got posted 60,000 likes. Got a rock band here. They got 40,000. We got Azalea. It's like this girl kind of pop band here, and they're on the ups. They're on the ups. It's like fun. I was like, oh shit, we gotta fun get out there. Fun saying not
You got to
too soon.
forget about these fucking 2. They have peaked at this thing.
They've
I've checked out the
peaked,
fucking
petered out.
trending stuff, and it's just like, nah, that was as good as they're going to fucking do. These guys, though, they got
Yes.
major backing.
Your combination with they're like they're the most cutthroat talent agency in the business. They'll do anything and
Also,
everything.
they're all
Which I
wearing
assume
masks,
is,
and
yeah, I was
they're
going
in
to
the
say,
opening.
they're all
so-
wearing masks, which I assume is incredibly convenient for the plot later on in this episode.
Uh-huh. I assume masks and wigs. Yeah, yeah.
Bad taxi as tall as anything.
Mhm.
Yes. Who could possibly be the identity of the mysterious woman who we meet at the end of the episode?
Hmm. So yeah, basically they got to split into A squad and B squad. So you got to do your rivalry with your rival rapper, because
Copy, yeah, because
it'll get it out of
got,
your system. You won't be thinking about it. Yeah.
gotta be on your game. You gotta get back out there, warm up, loosen tune up. And Echo, you gotta work on yourself. Go look at this song, the demo that you showed me, I included in the PowerPoint, and you're playing out. She's like, "Oh, you're so embarrassed, but it's okay. We're all friends here, and we're going to aim at optimal time and build toward this time to make our killer post." Will be 3 days before the deadline. It's like, whoa, this is the time to strike. Just trust me on this. You just gotta prepare.
They got 2 weeks to get to day X, as he's calling it, and then it'll be 3 days before the deadline.
And he's booked a fancy studio and an ace arranger to help get this song sorted out and given it.
And you know this guy is good because at a big event he threw cakes at the audience.
Well, she doesn't know that until when she gets. That's one of the things which makes it nervous.
I know, but that's such a weird. It's like I guess if he didn't get fired for throwing cakes at people, yeah, he's probably pretty important.
He's given her three bags to open, 3 charms to open, in the event of feeling anxious. But you must open them in the correct order: 1, 2, and 3.
And only if you feel anxious. But she immediately opens all of them as soon as she's able, because she's too curious.
I like those ones. That the only notable example I can think of off the top of my head, unfortunately, is the John Woo film Paycheck, where you get given this like a random assortment of items, but there's always going to be something in there. It's going to be just the thing you need to get out of the sticky situation.
I'd forgotten all about
to number one. Yeah. So number one, you go to the corner shop, you get like 2 large puddings, and you go to the corner session, and you go and meet up with Steve Kido. He's Steve Aoki, but we can't call him that. And he's a bit of an eccentric, loves him some bamboo shoots.
I mean, I get that, like picking him out of it, but when he started dipping him in the yogurt, I was like, I don't think that's going to work.
Pudding, not yogurt.
Yeah. You're right.
It's a different consistency.
Yeah,
it's probably still disgusting, by the look on Aiko's face. And then he gets her to sing a song by her favourite singer, whose name
Maria Diesel.
Yes, which we do not get to listen to. It's not for your ears, dear viewer.
Did you copyright reasons? You couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
We've lost copyright to our own soundtrack.
And he's like, well, you do a great version of Maria Diesel's singing, but I'm not hearing you. So go and find your own voice and then come back. And then she's like, how dare he? I'm so frustrated.
Yeah, she's treating it like a refusal, but he's saying it's just like, yeah, you're good, but you can be better, basically. She's not taking it as encouragement, but she decides...
Yeah, her second thing.
To go use the second thing, which is a license to perform on the street. As a street performer. And she heads to the place where you can do that. It's pretty packed. And she comes across a mysterious songstress sitting and playing on a K-on?
The box drum.
Yeah, the box drum.
Yeah.
She's getting hassled by the cops. They're like, hey, man, you got a permit for that? It's like, yeah, I left it in my under jacket. Hold on, it was great fun. And then Echo Fund, what do? You step in. Sorry, I'm late. I got the permit right here. It's like, do you know each other? Yes, we are good chums.
We are a musical duo. And the cops are kind of like watching us from the corner, going like, "What's she just bullshitting us?" It's like, I guess we should play a song.
Do you know any Maria Diesel? She's my favorite. Just go, let's go.
Yeah. So instead of her singing, this new mysterious girl who probably isn't important to the plot in any regard is gonna do the singing bit and obviously the percussion. And they have a great time. They have a really good time. They promise to meet up again, and this time they'll switch the singing roles as well.
Like, oh yes, you've made a new friend.
Meanwhile, Kobe's doing fortune telling, and he's happy with the fortune.
The friendly rival has appeared already. Meanwhile, then Copy Tarjan, he's got to get his groove back. It's like it all fun. From Copy Tarjan, he's all washed up. He's coming back. It's fun saying, but the sparrows and swallows cannot define the thoughts of phoenixes and swans. What do you say, motherfucker? It's like, get out. What's his name? This comes down to like apparent strength is like doesn't always equate to what your
Actual
strength
strength,
actually is.
yeah.
So what fun? You're a strong character. You got strong views on things. You got fun. Like you go put it into words. So, but what's your strength? What is that? And he sees like he's going out the corner shop. Then it's like it's just like he was back in school. Just like the lads getting hassled by the bigger lads and saying, "Oh, step in." He comes in and it's super awkward. He's like, "But hey,
Yeah,
look at
old
that!"
man. There's a cop, and they all kind of look as like, we're just gonna leave, kind of thing.
Oh.
It's just like, all right.
So while it wasn't the smoothest way you could have done that, he accomplished
What he set out to, yeah.
nonetheless. So it's like, to hit that in. I think he's like getting it down and saying, "Oh man, your man Shigetobo about Kung Fu. He's gotten so good in the meantime. How am I going to compete with that? I'm writing stuff down and saying, I'm best #1, but I don't feel that way." Just I think, he's going to do something about the vulnerability, man. That's as real as it gets. It's like, that's going to be the thing. It's just that's going to speak to the hearts of so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he hasn't quite got there yet, but presumably by the next.
He will. It's only volume 1. It's only volume 1. It's Grandmaster Plan for World Peace.
And the other detail is that DJ Kiddo is doing this for Kobe as part of a bet.
Oh,
so
that's right.
If they produce a song that he likes, then they get it for free. And if that's not the case, I guess they still get it for free, but Kobe has to become his tactician.
Yeah, because they, based off his outrageous, actually, industry prices, they can't afford to pay him.
That's Steve Aoki, man. He's a household name.
But you do get the impression that he thinks that Kobe might actually be Kobe, because he does go ahead and ask that question.
You think he's the real Kobe? Maybe. I've never met the real guy because he's from, history.
Yes, exactly.
Steve Aoki also reincarnated in modern era. The Three Kingdoms.
He's a fun new character to add. And the other character is more the singing voice this episode than the acting voice. But I assume the rivalry will be tense once she figures out that she's most likely one of the girls under a mask.
Probably.
Couldn't be.
I think it is. I mean, there's only 5 characters that they've put up profiles for on the official website so far. There's a bunch of ones which have been left as question marks for weeks now.
But they added her little character to the stage in the closing credits, so they must be good friends. But how could they be rivals? This will cause some friction if it's true.
It would be like a magical girl working together with a demon girl. The Demon Girl Next Door, Season 2, Episode 6. Vow Under the Setting Sun, The Path Forward for Demonkind. An episode which feels like a season finale, and it's bang in the middle of a season.
I was thinking, I was like, wow, I guess they're doing a short season this year. And then it's like, well, next episode. And I was like, there's a fucking next
week they're just going to a festival.
It's just the chilling out episode after all the fucking big plot reveals of this one, I guess.
So the plot reveal is that the core of the sister that they're looking for has been inside our demon girl next door the entire time. Because...
What?
And it's the thing which is sustaining her life.
Yeah, so something happened our magical girl's big sister 10 years ago to make her revert to her cat core. And so she went into the hospital and was like, hey, I'm a spirit, or I'm in my core mode, which means I've been weakened. You're dying. So if I jump in you, I can sustain you. Also, I'm going to leech a bunch of your magical power, which is why you're so fucking weak, just to sustain myself. But I'll keep you alive. So we got a deal. And obviously, she doesn't remember this fucking deal because she was a little kid and very sickly in hospital. But the sister's like, don't worry about it. You'll get there eventually, as long as you become a super powerful demon.
Yes, you don't need
Lord.
me to break the curse. So once you've broken the curse, then they can safely remove the core. Everybody be happy. And also, don't worry about seeing my little sister smile. You're going to see her smile sooner than you think. Also, though, the setup for all this, though, is the sister explaining that because she's possessing Shimiko's body, she's using Shimiko's brain, and so she doesn't have the the amount. Well, I'm struggling now. She doesn't have access to the amount of words to concisely explain how things have happened, so they have to travel further back into her memories so she can actually see it.
Yeah, I can only explain things as smartly as
Vocabulary,
you, and
that's
you're
the
not
word I
very
was
clever.
grasping for. I've got this cough to blame,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
a magical girl possessing me. Um, yeah, so that's the set. I think that's a really great gag. It's like, you're too stupid for me to explain using your brain.
Like you don't know how to explain this because you don't know what this is. So I can't explain it using your brain, which I'm in. So yeah, we got a
Yeah.
bit of a problem.
Meanwhile, trying to get her out is Lilith and Momo, and they concoct a plan, and that is that Momo will turn to the dark side and become Darkness Peach, a dark magical girl, enter the dreams and pull Shabiko out. Uh,
It's temporary though. It's very temporary. That's very
yes.
clear. She's not going to go to the dark side for any length of time. She's not best friends with the evil mistress of darkness. And
Yes.
It's like no.
So she temporarily becomes Yuko's vassal and goes in, pulls her out quite easily because Shabiko thinks she can get out on her own, but realizes, oh no, the sister has drained all my energy, so I can't use the magical fork to fight the imaginary monsters from my childhood. So yeah, they pull them out, and then they've got to turn Momo back to the light side, which they do by shooting her in the head.
It's like, okay,
Works
now
every time.
we temporarily turned you evil, so I'm gonna shoot you with my magical orange crossbow, and I hope this doesn't fucking kill you. I guess we're gonna find out. And they're all like, this seems a bit extreme. It's like, yeah, it'll probably work. It does work.
Might get a
But obviously-
stand out of it.
Yeah, you're one. The
Mikan,
orange girl.
yeah.
She's very much so. Yeah, she's like, okay, but I'm having such a fucking panic attack right now that my cursed power is going to activate like doubly, triply so they have to get the fuck out of that little school.
Yeah, because they're in
shed that they were in.
It's Agura's laboratory.
Evil lab, I guess. Yeah.
And then it's destroyed by the guardian spirit of Mikan. And then, but
I mean, like it's destroyed finally by a
Yes.
meteor. Fucking.
sorry for
hitting it, but,
destroying
yeah.
your laboratory. And then she's like, "Oh, don't worry, it's the schools."
Oh, that's just school property. That's fine. They're like, that's probably worse. Actually.
The government would pay for that.
It's all worked out pretty good, and obviously they found where her sister is, and it basically just means it's like, hey, you know the way you were trying to get more strong? It's like we just keep doing that. That'll get us there, which is good. It kind of doesn't put them on a timer or any kind of danger kind of thing, and just makes them do the thing they were trying to do already.
And Momo's like,
yeah.
I don't have to worry about my sister. I know where she is now, which means I don't have to worry about protecting the town. I just have to. And then she doesn't outright say, I just have to worry about protecting you, but then turns to.
I have to protect this corner.
And
of
then
the town,
turns to Yuko and smiles. And then Yuko starts crying, and then Momo starts worrying about Yuko crying.
Oh my god, why are you crying?
Maggie laugh.
And Momo's like, I'm not crying. Yuko's like, I'm not crying. My eyes are leaking. It's eye juice. Isn't it? That's what...
Eye juice is how I translate. Yeah.
I know not why you cry, but it is something I can never do.
So they're working together to make Shabiko stronger, and
to make her a dark mistress with many underlings is the plan.
And Lilith's body is still stuck on the top of the summoned guardian spirits that destroy the laboratory because they forgot to grab her when they were fleeing.
I mean, like, eventually that body will die and she'll just go back into
I believe in the trailer for the next week's episode, she's demanding to be given another doll body so she can go to the festival as well. I mean, I have to assume that the restaurant is going to be running a stand at the festival.
That would make sense, and it would allow you to get maybe one or two more weird characters in if you wanted. It's like, hey, this weird monster is going to be a guy who she's going to have to convince to go to the dark side.
Yeah, because they talked about she'd have to defeat other demons to get stronger. Because the sister hinted that getting stronger was not going to be as complicated as she thinks it is as well. So I guess we're back to the core plot of get stronger, and only barely admit your feelings to each other.
Yeah, yeah. It's still great fun, and it's mad that this was like, oh my god, this is like you say, season finale fucking shit. Revelations revealed, and it's like a new drive forward, and it's just like, no, we're just partway through the season. Don't worry
Yeah, I
about it.
guess it's just how the comics paced. You got to live with that. The things
Yeah,
dropping where they fall.
Mm.
Then we've got I'm Kodama Kawashiri, The Dissolute Life of a Dangerous Lifehacker, episode 14, Memory of the Pressure Cooker, in which she remembers her mum using a pressure cooker and then realizing,
While using a pressure
yes,
cooker
that
herself,
her
yeah.
mum was lying to her.
It's almost like your parents do things to scare children that aren't actually. It's not a scary situation. They just think it'll be fucking funny. Yeah. That's it. That's the episode.
So frightening.
I'm releasing the pressure, like holding her finger on the button, and the kid's just like, "Oh my god, is Mama gonna be burned?" It's like, no, it's fine. That's what it does.
Well, the best is just the voice actor just going. Sorry for all the hissing on the microphone there, but
Then we got
equally
Kaguya-sama, Love is War, Ultra Romantic, episode 6. The student council wants to move forward. Miyuki Shirogane wants to make her confess part 2, and
Part
Miyuki
two?
Shirogane
Shirogane
wants to make her confess part 3. I'm up to chapter 40
3.
of the manga so far, so I'm about
All right.
50
You're
or
a pound
60
ahead.
off from where the anime is, I think. But the problem is I've noticed is
Okay.
that the anime doesn't always play chapters in the same order they are in the comic. And I think it
Yeah,
also
yeah.
skips some.
Right.
And I assume there's some like anime exclusive
Yeah.
stuff. Like, I assume the rap battle doesn't go into the same length in the manga.
They couldn't do it quite the same way, and it's like a
Yeah,
very elaborate flick book.
Yeah, the only ones I've compared so far was the one about the club budgets, where there was more stuff in the comic than there was in the anime version of the story. That story.
Okay.
So.
You can pack it a lot more in. I mean, like a lot of what they have with like the narrator. Well, they gotta take up some time to do that for like that would basically a box out in a comic. So that happens. Actually, the narrator as well as she's the granddad from Aruma Gun. If you had noticed, Wayne.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Well-
No.
But Wayne's doing this all the serious voice, you know.
Yeah. He's doing the less cheery voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're like having like the parent teacher conferences there. Just like discussing what's your ambitions for the future, young lady, young man.
I think my favorite was the maid talking to the guidance counselor and just like, I want a new job.
Well, good job.
You're a student at the school. What are you talking about? And she's just like, nah, I'm sick of this fucking shit.
Yeah. Some of them are going to go to, or because there's like a college attached to this academy, you can just continue on.
You
on
can
the
just go
rest
further
on.
education here, or if you're
go
going
to different
elsewhere,
one.
like some people have less things planned. They're not sure. I mean, like they're still fairly young in high school, so yeah, they got time.
Yeah, like what do you want to be? Some of them have got grander ambitions. It's like, Miss Fujiwara, you're a very talented pianist. You're not thinking of like, going to conservatory and saying, nope, I'm going to be the prime minister. Wouldn't that be a laugh? Ooh.
And her dad, like, just laughing to every mad fucking thing that she's saying. Is just like, yep, you can see why she's only just encouraged to be a mad fucker.
So like, so Kage, being like this scion of this corp of this like conglomerate, it's just like well they want time to come by and tend to send somebody in their stead to handle for Hayasaka. Also has to go through with this, and they send Hayasaka's mom now, who is just Hayasaka, but an adult.
I would say she's more evil than Hayasaka. Like, you can see where she gets it from. It's her mom who's interested in starting shit and like any kind of drama she can cause. And I was like, yeah, I can see where the kid gets it from now. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Hayasaka is like, fun. Well, it's like, just respect my mother. Just always off fucking, fucking working, not paying any attention to me. So I can fun take her or leave her, and then fun saying hello. I've come this morning to stand in and be present there for Kaguya.
And even initially, it's like, oh, you just came because you were told to do it for Kaguya, right? And it's just like, no, I was taking the day off specifically so I could do this. It just so happens I can do both now. And
that's enough. It's like,
I love you, Mammy. Can we go for dinner after? Can we get
course.
McDonald's and chicken nuggies? It's basically like she's an absolute fucking mama's kid. It's very funny because it's a very contrast to most of her characterization.
And who should we bump into as well? But it's Shirogane's father, who Kaguya has met before.
How he's introduced is amazing because it's like a band setting up, and there's a dude like slowly moonwalking in, and he's about to sing, and it's just like instead of actually singing, it kind of cuts his dad kind of going up to Kaguya. He's like, "Hey, how's it going, Kaguya?"
Oh God. Unlike the upright and otherwise mostly noble Miyuki Shirogane, Shirogane Senior here is a bit of a shady dude.
He's not horny for kids in the way a lot of people are in anime. He wants his son to experience the horniness of youth, and he's all there about supporting it for the kids. It's like, hey, you guys, you're only young once. You guys need to start making out now. Fucking do it. Go for it, Kaguya. I know you want to smooch him. Smooch him on
Are
the
your kids
face.
getting along? You know, I'm heading away this weekend. Does that help any?
Like he'd be the kind of dad who like would very obviously out loud tell people where the condoms are, and it's just like that's not gonna help. That's just gonna embarrass
I
everyone.
assume this is going to replace
Anyways,
the version of him in Kaguya's mind of the initial one, which gets repeatedly of him answering the phone, which then is her number one fear of ever engaging with any other member of the family, calling them Shirogane, and then we're all Shirogane.
The confusingness of it, but yeah, basically because the mom is there to represent her parent, like basically be her guardian, talking about her future, and the dad's like, well, basically you're gonna fuck and then eventually marry my son, so basically I'm your dad, so I'm gonna be your dad in this fucking meeting. And the mom is just like, the mom's just like, oh, we gotta fucking do this to her daughter. She's like, this will be really fucking funny. This will be really weird, and I like it. I like the way this is going. So they make it very embarrassing for her teacher meeting. It's
super
great.
awkward meeting. She's kind of starting to spike and continue on, but I wonder what Miyuki, what did he decide to do? And I said, are you sure about this, son? And so son said, yes, it's what I want to do. He's gonna go to Stanford. So there's always so much time. There's always so little time before we can make our love known to each other. I've got to make her say, like, I'm gonna say I've been too timid, so I gotta try and do this.
So he set himself a deadline to do it by the Culture Festival, I think it was.
Yes.
If she hasn't confessed to me by the Culture Festival, I'm going to confess to her then. So that's the deadline.
So we try to not be kind of roundabout and say, Culture Festival, we could, other schools, they have theirs, and, they can have their own thing. So maybe sort of, do you want to kind of possibly investigate this with me, in a professional student council capacity? And it's like,
as a student council, we should go check out what they're doing to see if we're copying them, or to learn from their failures and learn from what they do good as well, that kind of thing. And she's like, oh, we don't have to do that. That's a bit of extra work. And she's like, wait a minute. Did he just fucking ask me out and I turned him down? Shit.
Shit. I just read this all night. It's just, I get high sucker. It's like, you fucking idiot. How do you keep doing this? It's just like, you got to fucking responding. You got to respond kind tomorrow. It's actually fun saying, well, I think you have a point there, President. Maybe we should sort of kind of go there. It's important we learn from other schools. We're all trying to improve ourselves. Sort of thing. Is that right? Is it okay if we can go with that? Oh, but it's both. I can't. Still make the first one, but not both kind of like a. Well, someone will kind of come in here and just like fun, just give us a little boost, a little jump up, to heat off for this moment up there. In Ishigami points in. Won't be fun shit I've seen out in the corner right there. Some fun sad.
It's amazing that the kind of thing of like, if only someone would come in to help get just over this hump of confidence that we need to get over. And it's like, Shirogane, oh thank God, they're all delighted to see him. It's like, what are you gonna? But
Ishigami different. It won't be the funniest shit I've seen now. Some sado asking out like a girl to the culture festival. So lame and transparent. I can't believe it. Fun. Fucking shut up. That's not what I wanted. Someone lets anybody come in, break
their
this
health bar
tension.
of confidence is going down. It's like, is someone going to come in who's like who's more serious? Can we get like a serious person into like?
Oh, here's Eno. Okay, Eno, fun. She's a real web blanket. She'll be able to kind of like diffuse this. And it's like, you won't believe what I've seen, the behavior I've seen on the corridor. But a boy just asking in broad daylight a girl to out on a date, a romantic date, mind you, to the culture festival. Disgusting altogether. It's like, stop it.
Reduces confidence some more. It's like, okay, we need someone to make it less serious. If
There's
only
only
someone
one person
would come
left.
through the door who would make it less
Rope
serious.
Cap, Chica Fujiwara. I was like, hey, what's going on? Whoa, what's going on in here? You guys all right?
I think the president just shouting at her, just like, hey, you fucking love culture festivals, right? Culture festivals are fucking cool, aren't they? And she's like, I mean, yeah, but...
You've been to one at their school. How is it? It's like, oh, yeah, it's great. But there's all these, like, lads fucking leering at you. But it's no place for a girl to go by herself. No way, Siri Bob. But saying, but if she went with somebody, it probably would be fine. It's like, but is this what we need? So you're saying 2 of us should go to the culture festival and saying, yeah, but I think 2 should go. And it'd be, I think like the safest thing to do, just to make sure no one gets groped or anything, is that we send President and Ishigami to go, because 2 lads then will get like harassed or anything. And President should be there, and Ishigami's a treasurer, so you want to know what the budget is, so it all makes sense. It's like, it's just despair.
Yeah, they nearly had it, but they fucked it up. But he did go and he had a great time. So
yeah, cotton candy, man.
Yeah,
but he's still trying to improve himself, and Shirogane is, and this is Fujiwara says, I'm like, dude, you're shit at everything. It's not just like you're a little bit average at things. You've been time and again, you're shit at everything. So just like to consider yourself, just like have some self-awareness, consider yourself, look in from the outside, and think, consider that way. So things okay.
I think you need to have more self-awareness or something.
More self-awareness. It's like, okay, I'll ask straight out people, like there's pros and cons. Like, would you go out with someone like me, hypothetically? So Eno walks in, president, I had those phones were asked for and said, I got a question for you. Well, why is advancing on her? It's like fucking
he almost dubs like, into the wall, but he basically pins her to a wall like just with a look and just like, what do you think of me as a man? She's like, well, I don't know. It's so sudden.
And she texts in her pockets to her friend with glasses.
She's live texting the events. It's really funny. Yeah.
One president is confessing his love to me. This was wild. I don't know what to do. It's like, what the?
Yeah.
How do you think I would feel to? Well, I don't know. One thing. I think I would feel to women like all around me in general and saying, what? Then text in the pocket, president's a man whore. It's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, because when the other girl kind of comes through the door, he's kind of like, hey, what do you think of me as a man? He's like, oh, he's just trying to get with any lady, whatever about the president. I don't fucking care anymore. Furiously texting in the background, basically. Yeah.
And just like saying, well, what is fucking wrong with you? What is up with your phone? I'm just trying to consider myself objectively. That's weighing off the pros and cons. Would hypothetically, would someone like you go out with someone like me? And it's like, oh, no. It's like, no. It's like, okay.
They both go to in explicit detail why he grosses them out as a man, and he just gets more and more destroyed as they take him apart, basically.
It's like disciplining a problem child.
I think the fun part was when our pink-haired girl kind of goes like, well, what's your usual type of man? Well, he's like confident and assured and he's smart, and he's like, oh shit, it'd be you in every other circumstance but you.
And Eno wants, my idea, man, is Oscar from Rosa Versailles.
It doesn't exist.
He's after summer. I know he is.
I like the quote at the end as her texting her friend. It's like, my prince does exist, right? That's not just the fantasy that I'm never going to achieve, right? Just looking for the confidence.
Everyone's coming in as like, the person gives commission this film to completely just fucking to talk shit about him. Fun Kage, you would go like, I think President is fine just the way he is.
I wouldn't change a thing about him. He's great.
Oh, Kage, why did you want to say something like that?
So yeah, his confidence is through the roof again. He's just standing proudly and everything. Yeah, it all worked out in the end.
It was all fun taking it off one. It's like, how you can come up with saying this? Like, this is the way we think about it. Like, this way you think about yourselves. I think everyone here needs to consider themselves a little bit more objectively. It's like, no, no one can do that.
It's good stuff. Yeah.
Oh, it's really fun drilling down into it. It's just like it's gone so far away from like yes, Kaguya and Shirogane, they're criminal masterminds. No, they're not. They just overthink everything. It's just presented in a manner of like they are criminal masterminds when they're the 2 idiot teenagers.
Then we've got Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai, episode 77, The Other Hero.
Which surely refers to Nova and no one else.
Get a load of this guy, the other hero.
Yeah, so they can't get past the armor of the superior being zombie. So
Chewing gum is too tough. You can't pierce it.
Well, I did like Chew kind of going, it's like, well, don't worry, we got the guy who taught the refractor fist to the one that killed the last one. He's like, yeah, this one's a zombie. It doesn't conduct like life because it's dead, so I can't punch it full of life.
Kill it.
but no,
Which should be the reverse, really, because fucking how many RPGs you play with a cure spell kills the zombies like in one hit? Come on.
Yeah.
But Nova's got an attack that he developed alongside Dai's new attack. He's got the Life Blade. He'll pour all of his life essence into a blade and repeatedly hit the superior being zombie until it breaks.
Or until he breaks at the very least, and that crack that he makes in it will allow everyone else to beat it in the end.
Yeah,
and to do this, he's going to pick up the front end of a sword that broke off and like stab it into his hand, basically.
Get that life flowing. Yes.
And also turn into an old man while making this this sword, basically. This magical sword.
I guess he's at least like what I did is you can't pierce a little bubble because there's a little bubble in the chest and Zapware can just peek up and say, "Hey, it's me. You're taught you know you can't get in here." Blah blah blah. But anyways, back to the zombie. Smash.
And Lomberic's like, "Are you sure you want to do this? You really want to do this?" And then he tries to do it, and then Lomberic leaps in front of the sword and says, "I'm not going to let you do it. You're a great kid, and you've made me realise that I've not been pulling my weight here. You've got plenty of life left in you. I'm already centuries old, so let me use my ultimate weapon, which I've been hiding in an amulet all this time."
I think an amulet in other space, in a giant rock monster face.
Yeah, I don't know why I needed to go that, but
because he has to summon it to battle, basically.
There's a whole theatrical thing to this now. It's got to like baffle and confuse and intimidate the enemy.
Yeah.
First off, to blow the defenses.
Yeah, this giant sort of stone face appears, and Zabuera is like, what's that? I'll go and hit it. I'll destroy it easily, and then breaks his own blades on it.
I made it worse. Also, now he's got his 2 Star Emperor swords with some sweet kind of like dual blades that day. It's like doing cool fucking katas with them. He's like, okay, ready to go. It's like he's not hitting me. He's just kind of swirling around. Yeah, because the moment I use the special technique that these swords are made for, it will destroy both of my arms. I learned that the hard way once before.
The first time I read this, I was like a few. I think even
200 years ago,
recovering,
he made it.
Basically. 200 years ago, and so he spent the last 100 years making this set of the swords, which will do it again, presumably, because his attacks are so strong.
He says there's still a prototype because he got distracted building weapons for Dai and his friends. I guess also building weapons for other people as well.
You got to pay your drink money somehow, right?
So he's going to do. He can only use do 2 attacks, 1 with each one. But yeah, he's just sort of dodging until Zabuera's in the right position. He does the swing. I guess I was like, he kind of follows through, so it's like he's on the other end of the cross before it's gone through Zabuera's zombie mecha. Zabuera's like, didn't do a thing. I was right. This is absolutely superb. And then, of course, you've got the anime seconds of an attack.
Nani?
Yes. And it's finished off the zombie, and then I guess Lon couldn't drop the swords in time, even though he's in the anime. I guess he's.
Well, you have to hold on to them like to cut through, but that's the thing that destroyed his arms, basically.
No, because he's sitting there. It's not until they vibrate after the fact when he's sitting on the ground that his arms get destroyed. There's like a return blow going back up his arms
as feedback to it.
Like a delayed one.
Yeah, which I assume in the comic is just between panels, but because this is anime, you get the thing of him sitting there with a bit still holding them, where you're like, mate, can you not drop them? You know what's going to happen. It happened last time.
I don't know how.
But yeah, it shatters the swords and then shatters his arms. But Nova, seeing this brave sacrifice, says it's like, I'll be your arms. You can teach me how to smith stuff, and I'll do the things for you. And it's like, I accept you, young man. The first thing you do for me is open my drinking bottle, because we
Give me a
fucking
beer.
would.
yeah, give me a beer, boy. And it's one of those flip caps that he can't really do. It's like, oh, first thing I need to teach you is how to open a bottle, and everyone laughed but stopped.
Nice job, hero.
But earlier in the episode, we got the bit with Zabuera's zombie ultimate being thing, being like, Crocodile was like, I'll hold it in place, and everyone just punch it. And
I'm the
Crocodile's-
tallest here, so
he's
I
basically
can
like a
grab
little
hold of his
baby
leg,
holding
it's
onto a
about it.
man's ankle. And it's like, oh, this must be how you look down on me, Crocodile. It's like, it feels great to be big. And by the end of it,
Yes,
Zabuera's
yes, it
crawling
does.
away. And he's like, okay, I've just got to live another day. I'll be okay. I'll live another day. And then Crocodile's there. It's like, now who's small, fucker? With a look.
No.
He's not
We're doing
saying
fucking
anything.
shit. It broke my axe, by the way. I'm so sorry. I just got that thing.
That was brand new, dude. What the hell?
It was super sweet. You could blow stuff up with it. We just say explode. It did it. That's so convenient for me. And now you took that away from me, and I'll never forgive you for it.
Oh, and we did have Miss Vern laughing at Zabuera as well. Just kind of watching him. Was like, good. I'm glad that happened.
What a tool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so the battle on the ground
Good stuff.
taken care of. Next week, him's back, and he's got Hadler's hair.
Him
That's-
has become. He's gotten to the other end of the board, which is apparently on the ground, and he has been kinged like he was in checkers. And I don't know, like it's not chess rules anymore. We're doing something else. Yeah.
I used to be just a mere pawn on the chessboard, but as soon as I subscribed and got my first supplement of the box and my hair came back, it all came with it, my confidence.
I knew he was coming back, but I was kind of nearly hoping that he was like we cut to him and he was just defeated immediately, and that was the last we ever see of him.
No,
Because
he
it
was
was so funny. It was a really good bit, but yeah, him coming back is going to be more narratively satisfying.
It's got away, like he went away for a gap year, or really saw some more of himself. Let the hair grow out. I mean, like you're not in school anymore. You can do what you want. You're an adult now. You're a fully grown Orichalcum warrior. You gotta find your own path. You're out of the nest. Let's see what you've learned. Probably had to punch Junko over and over again because he's just going to go like, okay, come on, you give me a go. No knives. All right. Here we go.
Yeah, good episode. I mean, we've got to be approaching the end soon. Not soon, but like within another season. Feels like
we still another man behind the curtain who is going to need his little chunk of time on the screen.
So are we going to get like close to 100 episodes on this, or what's?
Yeah,
do we
maybe.
know the actual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how much they've going to have to account for the weeks they missed because of the hack, or whether they're going to rejig some scripts to condense things a bit further.
Could be. They seem to have taken the time to they haven't been resting on their laurels. They've definitely they've been knocking them out of the park the last few ones since they came back. So yeah,
it just looked good. It was nice to see the same like a little bit of attention given to it isn't just like
the main
guys
guys.
like big fights to get a little something. You give them like you want to see him chop up a zombie monster with this cool sweet sword he had a whole speech about in a savage way. Yeah. Give it to him.
Also, do watch One Piece 1017 as well, which would technically be next week's podcast suitability. But
okay, we'll get that in.
Yeah, it's not quite as good as 1015, but it's got a lot of really nice stuff in it. It just is.
I mean, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, the difference is 1015 is more disciplined. 1017 is
right.
Let's do some really cool stuff that doesn't really get done in anime very often, like insane impact frames and things. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But before we get to that, next week we've got Spy Family episode 6, The Friendship Scheme. What a great scheme Lloyd Forger has come up with. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
I was initially wondering why it had his stomach and it crossed out in the opening, and I was like, it's because of all the fucking anxiety this child is giving him. Yeah.
Could you go over the briefing one more time, Madam Handler? I've been a bit off my game actually lately.
Plan is you gotta get 8. I forgot what the stars are
You
called.
gotta
Like,
get 8-star chips to do a Pegasus. Oh, no,
Yes.
you got 8-star chips to become an Imperial Scholar.
and if you're an Imperial
Rhodes
Scholar, you get to the big party, and your man's going to be at the big party because he's one of the major benefiters of the school and that kind of thing. So that's fine. But if you get 8 Taunter's bolts, you get immediately fucking expelled. So that's fine. And he's like, great. So that you get the stars for academic excellence or community service or something like really fucking great, doing good stuff. But obviously that's going to be nearly fucking impossible for Anya to do.
That'd
So
be a reach.
Plan B will be happening simultaneously, where I've jiggered the numbers so she ends up in the same class as his son, so she can become best friends with him, and it'll be just like, hey, you want to come over to my house to play? Sure. Can my daddy come? Absolutely. And then you can just fucking talk to him in his house. Fucking problem solved. Easy.
Yep.
Plan B is more likely to happen, much more likely to happen, and it's simultaneous. We don't even have to concentrate on one or the other. We can do both at the same time. What could
So that's
possibly
all
go
happening
wrong?
while Yor is taking Anya out to show off her new uniform. But Anya's been scared by the seamstress who's warning them about the kidnappings that have been happening of children from the school.
And the bullying that happens at the
Oh,
school.
yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
like,
there's a
she's
whole
scared of the school. She's scared of outside of the school. She's just made this fucking, fill this child with fear.
Like class warfare, the place smells of money. It is ripe for exploitation.
And you guys didn't go to, your dad didn't go to the school, did he? He's like, so you're not old money then, are you? Ugh, that's going to go badly for you, kid. I'll probably be fine. I'm just guessing. I'm just an old lady. What are you going to say? So Anya's in fearfulness of being kidnapped at any stage, at any time.
And then she gets
bullied.
kidnapped.
There's a bunch of ruffians that are just like, hey, that's obviously the maid taking out the kid for whatever. And it's like, so we could just get a bit of pocket money off her. So as soon as Anya runs out of the supermarket, and Yor's trying to do good and buy one of everything in the store so she can make dinner because she's not sure how to cook.
Yeah,
That'll
but
probably do it.
it's a sweet little bit because they're playing in the park and it's being a adorable little tot. Look at my lovely uniform, aren't I cute? It's like, oh yeah, sure. It's
To every stranger in the park.
It's
It's
fun
nice,
saying,
yeah.
oh, like I can, watch over this, but am I really? I know this is all like a facade, but I
I'm not
want to
her
be,
real
I want to
mother,
be
I'm
a good mother to her as well. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
should be taking me at that. She's been kidnapped. And then you're the mother, all right? You're the one mother bear.
Yeah, yeah.
She's got to telephone and saying, "Hey, hold up, lady, one back up," and say, "You're just a higher hotel. People get fired with this anyone saying, I am her mother.
Yeah, so
You get away from my daughter this instant."
they escape with their lives, basically, which is about as much as they could manage with Yor. But it kind of
This
proves
is
to
angry
Yor,
eyes.
and Yor kind of like being nervous, like, oh my god, I've ruined all the shopping. I probably went way too far and beaten up those ruffians and kind of thing. And you just be like, it's okay, pat, kind of thing. It's just like, you're
Mommy
a good
is so
man.
cool. You punched him out. I want to be just like you. Can you train me?
It's like, I will teach you to defend yourself. So when the dad comes home, she's teaching combat to the child when she has to go to school tomorrow. Okay, I can handle this. This is fine. It's fine.
It's okay. It's okay. She didn't punch out that Desmond's son on the first day, earning her both a demerit and torpedoing her social standing with the young son.
Because initially, like, there's a girl who thinks she's kind of cute, but like probably not that important, and she seems nice and chatty, but she seems kind of manipulative. And he's just like, oh, that's a cute girl. Obviously, she's enamored with me because I'm fucking great. But Anya has not. She's learned what the parents have taught her to do. Like, hey, if someone fucking is bullying you and shit, just smile, just walk it off. Don't pay it any fucking mind.
It's not worth it. It's just this. So, that's fine. It was just like, and then we get it on screen, rendered in film for the first time.
The shit-eating grin.
That face. That face you've probably seen by now.
Which is a bit of an insult for our young scion boy, who's very so like, how fucking dare you have that shit-eating grin looking at me? You fucking think you're better than me? And he's throwing a paper ball at her head while they're going off to the dormitories and stuff and getting the tour from their housemaster is going to be the elegant gentleman.
Mr. Henderson. At least they got the good teacher for that. He's got a good one for that, so he's able to like argue down his instant to one demerit rather than three you would normally get.
Because
It's
yeah,
like,
Anya punches that motherfucker across the room.
Well, because he
Using all
he
her
declares
man's
that he's going to be
training.
bullying her every day, and so yeah, that's
What you
like
do
what's the
to
matter? You
bullies
gonna
is
quack?
destroy them. You find the biggest guy in the yard and you fucking beat his ass, and that way you're at the top. Wait, is that prison or school? It doesn't matter. It's the same basic
Yeah.
fucking principle.
It was that was some lesson, you know. This the way this like it just erupts out. It has like the vortex surrounding it, like it's in Hajime no Ippo. Just like spirals in, digs into the cheek, and launches him down the hallway.
Her mom's a good
oh,
teacher.
but before she punches, of course,
but,
she double checks that the teacher's not looking.
So yeah, all the kids are like, "What?" He's like, "What happened here?" It's like, she fucking punched him out. It's like, no, I didn't. He ran into my fist actually, and they're like, "You checked before the fucking teacher came."
She's a public school child in a boarding school setting.
Yeah,
She learned all this on the streets.
So she doesn't try the straight up lie. She tries bending the truth a little. It's not that he got me mad. He's been bullied.
He ran into my fist.
Because her friend, her now new
Becky,
friend, says,
yeah.
and it's like, he's been freaking on her case all day, and it's like, so she did hit him, and it's like, well, he stepped on my friend's foot, and I that's all I can stands. I can't stands no more, and it's like truly elegant, but that's still a demerit.
Should have been 3. He gets it down to 1.
Yeah, he argued it down to 1,
Yeah,
which is
has to
an
coin
improvement.
Lloyd aside to explain, and Lloyd is like, "Oh no, Plan A is shattering, Plan B is shattering, everything's going wrong."
My career is over as a spy.
The 45 would continue their streak of never taking a good photo of themselves.
They have the one photo in the house which is okay, but that one is.
But they're also stiff in it, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas it's
in this one, they're more lower basically.
Just look at that.
Well, they'll get a good photo of it. Yeah.
Oh man.
I think that's pretty much
Just
everything.
that punch made it.
Yeah, a surprising amount of punching from
fucking
people who aren't the spy or the assassin happening in this show.
Yeah, and you get some action as well. Some action anime, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess Damien is our initial school villain. I'm curious, like, how much getting punched in the face will change his attitude in future episodes.
It definitely focuses his attention on her. Yeah, so that, I mean, like, that's kind of helpful, but not in the way that Lloyd wanted, obviously.
It may eventually become this. And I may eventually, but you can see it going to like when primary school did romance fun, when you're mean to them because you actually like them, so you punch him in the face and fucking fracture his cheek because you actually like them.
Dear.
At least that's the story he tells himself anyway.
Yeah, it's a little like getting to go behind the door was like, oh, that's a little Iruma cunt. So I wonder if there's like a shared origin for that story beat in school stories. Obviously, a little different in Iruma Kun is that just one day they just decide to swing that door open and go inside. But yeah, another enjoyable episode. I assume we're going to like focus on the school for a good bit at this point.
Yeah, we got a bunch of school stuff to start with and set up and everything.
Yeah, I think this is just like one season, then it's back in. Oh, is this another one which is back in October? I can't.
Back in October, I thought I would have said fucking January.
Oh, maybe I can't remember. I can't remember. You might be right because I don't think I would have added it to the October list of things if I was. January. Let's try Spy Family 2023.
Sensible, or as sensible as it gets in this thing.
It says musical theatre adaptation coming in 2023. They're currently doing auditions for it. Pre-order Mega House Spy Family Anya figure. Season 2.
Let's just enjoy what.
Yeah, I just worried that there's too many things coming all in one go at some point.
It's a good worry to have.
It is. Oh no, it's just still TBA. So 12 episodes here, 13 episodes at a later date. So
All right.
that is what we've got for now. That's it for now. Let me just double check. There's no new Detective
enough.
Conans next week. What are we looking at here? It is currently so this week it was The Figure of Revenge, a TV original, and next week it is The Deadly Pork Soup Signal, also a TV original.
Oh no!
I believe the next one we're waiting for is either the final Wild Police Story case or Sister's Birthday Party Murder case, which will apparently give us character development, romance, the Black Organization, and characters' pasts. Those are the.
Maybe it's a crappy birthday party to try to get out of by committing a murder. It's that bad.
Could be. I imagine
I just wanted to leave.
I imagine the murder has absolutely nothing to do with the other components. I suspect they're just things which are happening due to going, who's rum? Which one of us is rum?
Hey, I'm making the dead body jump out of the cake for you.
Is it this guy? Is it this guy? Or is it this lady? That's it for this week. We'll be back Tuesday, Niall. Is that correct?
Yes.
Excellent. We'll be back then. I'm going to end the stream. Goodbye.
Bye.